People were dying, not one by one, but all at once. Entire families, gone in days. Streets filled with fear. Homes turned into graves. No one understood why. No one understood how. They only knew one thing. Something invisible was killing them. And no matter what they did, it didn't stop. And this is Forgotten Mind, where the stories that saved lives were often ignored until it was almost too late. It began in a city, already struggling to breathe, crowded, dirty, overwhelmed, a place where thousands lived, side by side, with almost nothing between them and disease. London in the 19th century, a city growing faster than it could survive. And then the outbreak came. Cholera. A disease so violent, so sudden that people could be healthy in the morning and dead by night. No warning, no mercy. Doctors tried to explain it. They believed it spread through the air. Bad air. Miasma. A poisonous fog that floated through the streets. It made sense. The smell was unbearable. Rot, waste, decay. So they tried to fight the air, but the deaths continued. Faster, closer, more terrifying. Because the truth was, they were fighting the wrong enemy. But one man wasn't convinced. He didn't follow the crowd. He didn't trust assumptions. He asked a different question. What if it's not the air? What if it's something else? He was born on March 15th, 1813, in York. Not into wealth, not into privilege. His father was a laborer. Life was simple and difficult. At just 14 years old, he was sent away. Apprenticed to a surgeon, no luxury, no shortcuts, just work. Long hours, harsh conditions, learning medicine, not in theory, but in reality. And from the beginning, he saw something others didn't. Patterns, connections, not just symptoms, but causes. As he grew, he moved to London, chasing knowledge, chasing understanding, becoming a physician in a city filled with illness. But his ideas were different. He believed disease had specific sources, not vague theories, not invisible bad air, but something real, something traceable. And when cholera returned, stronger than ever, he decided to prove it, not with opinions, but with evidence. In 1854, the outbreak struck again, this time in a small area of London, Soho. People were dying in shocking numbers, day after day, street after street. And while others blamed the air, he did something unusual. He walked, door to door, house to house, asking questions, recording names, recording deaths, mapping the outbreak. Not in theory, but in reality. And slowly, a pattern emerged. Every death seemed to point to one place, a single water pump on Broad Street. It didn't make sense, not to others. Water was supposed to be clean, safe, but to him, the evidence was clear. This wasn't airborne, it was in the water, contaminated, invisible, deadly. He took his findings to the authorities, but they didn't believe him. Why would they? It went against everything. They thought they knew. One man against an entire system. His ideas were dismissed, ignored, even ridiculed. But people were still dying, and time was running out. So he pushed harder, presented the data, the map, the undeniable pattern, and finally, reluctantly, they agreed to act. Not because they believed him, but because there was nothing left to try. They removed the handle from the Broad Street pump. A simple action, almost meaningless on the surface. But what happened next changed everything. The deaths stopped. Not slowly, not gradually, but almost immediately. The outbreak collapsed. The invisible killer cut off at its source. And yet, even then, many refused to accept it. They clung to old beliefs, to old explanations, because accepting the truth meant admitting they were wrong. And so, his discovery was not celebrated, not fully understood, not immediately accepted. But it was real, and over time, it changed everything. It became the foundation of modern epidemiology, the study of how diseases spread, the idea that you can trace an outbreak, find its source, stop it before it spreads. But his life was not easy. He faced resistance, isolation, a constant battle against established beliefs. He worked tirelessly, not just on cholera, but on anesthesia, helping make surgery safer, less painful, more humane. He even treated royalty, gained respect in some circles, but never the full recognition he deserved. Because sometimes being right is not enough. Sometimes you have to wait for the world to catch up. He didn't live to see the full impact of what he had done. He died on June 16, 1858, in London, at just 45 years old, a life cut short, a legacy not yet understood. But today, every time a disease is traced, every time an outbreak is contained, every time lives are saved, because someone followed the evidence, his work lives on. His name was John Snow, the doctor who stopped a deadly outbreak before anyone believed him. If stories like this make you see the world differently, make you question what we accept as truth, then this is your place. Subscribe to Forgotten Mind, like this video, because the next story might reveal something hidden in plain sight. And if you want to explore the real evidence behind this story, check the first pinned comment, where the truth still flows quietly beneath the surface.